Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take 5, you're in the zone. Voices come, hearts that care. Two good friends always there.
Once again, a special good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean states.
We'll take 5 with CJ and Jester.
And by extension, the world over.
And lifting pressure.
Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard.
Every Tuesday, 10 to noon.
That unique program indeed entitled Take 5 with CJ and Jester.
Take a breath.
For yet another Tuesday.
Time. We're here to realign your mind.
It is Tuesday, the 30th of June, 2026, the final day in June.
CJ and Jester bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health, it matters most, so come in close and raise.
I wonder if we're going to have Kenra this morning for prayers.
To the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. We got your back, you've got our word.
Once again, I would like to express my most profound sympathy to Kenro on the passing of a beloved son. That's Lloyd.
Every Tuesday, 10 to noon.
Too many knew as a bus driver along the western route.
Take a breath, take your time.
Kenro girl,
we're here to realize.
Certainly are in my thoughts and prayers. Wholesome strain. The good Lord will console you. I have no doubt about that.
Bring you home. We laugh, we cry, we share the ride. No judgment here, just love and light. You've got a place right here to stay. So take 5 and heal today. Take 5 with CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting.
Let me take the time off to say a special good morning to
Tuesday, 10 to
the Real FM crew, particularly my boy Dugo. How can I leave out Nabi and Kira? Oh boy, them them really just crack me up, you know.
CJ and Jester bring you home.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418-1845. Sugar's Repair Services.
All right, so it's 5 minutes gone past 10 in the morning. I guess I'll have to do the honors. It's a good thing the good Lord give me a little ability to reach out to him. Yeah, without God, what it would have been like for me, boy. I would have been withered like a leaf in the open a very, very long time ago. That's for sure, you know. He's the one that have my head above the waters. Yeah. So, listeners and viewers, let's just put ourselves in the proper frame of mind as we approach the Almighty, because I'm just leading on your behalf. It's important that you reverence with the Almighty. Almighty Father, we thank you once again for rising us up this morning, giving us the ability to move around, thinking about there are others that cannot do what we are doing at this moment. And of course, we empathize with the situation. Oh, Father in heaven, God, we ask you to direct our paths today, oh God, in whatever we are about to do, in all our endeavors. We ask you to be with us, lead us in a way that will prosper, oh God. And as we bring this program before you, God, looking to edify our listeners and viewers, the whole learning experience for all who are involved, we say thank you. Guide us once again, my good Father in heaven. Thank you so very much. We ask this through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
CJ and Jester bring you home.
Oh, yes.
They laugh, laugh, we cry, we share the ride. No judgment here, just love and light. You've got a place right
So we are getting ready to link up with the petite lady. She's on the other side of the sea.
Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon.
I'm on the side of the Caribbean Sea.
Just for you.
So Claire, tell us what side of what sea you are?
I am across the pond. You got to turn your music off. I am on the other side of the pond.
You're on the other side of the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how are you?
I am good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, that's good.
Good to see you.
It is raining or is it sunny on your end?
It was raining. The sunshine I have just seen a while ago before I closed the door, it was somewhat hazy, not in its brilliance. You understand?
Okay. So you say your prayers and everything like that. This morning we are going to be having a guest, eh?
Yes.
But we're not going to introduce her until we do the thing.
All right. So,
all right.
So how this is gonna go? We're gonna play her thing first before she comes up.
Yes.
All right. So all right. Well, we'll get to that, but we normally do what we accustomed to doing on mornings to get things going, and here is the opportune time so that you can get the ball rolling. Claire,
So let me ask. So I'm hearing you. I was just looking at something that I got from Dugo. So sorry for the.
Oh, okay. Well, when you're ready for me, tell me because I can talk.
I am ready for you.
Yeah, because.
So it is my time to say good morning. Ready?
You start again?
No, I'm here.
Well, I hear you say it's time to say good morning, but you pause.
Good morning to Faith and Hallie Douglas. Good morning to JG. Bernadette Abraham, it is your special day today. Good morning to you. Coffee in the morning. Daphne Dayton family are there in Toronto. Out in Toronto, and I'm saying out that I think I'm transporting my body somewhere else. Good morning to Chance the Gamer 97 in Toronto. Lorna Bain, good morning. Junior Mitchell on top of the Grand Tang. Good morning to Nicholas Snag. Henro, Chester Bandy David, Pat Penn family, Carol Belfon, William Pear. Good morning to City under the Cashew Tree. Good morning to Buddy. You're back on Spice Country. Welcome back. Kathleen Ledlow. Good morning to Antonia Francois, Gloria Francois. Wifey Aito, good morning. Jawanda. Wendy out here in Toronto. Good morning to the Hill Street people. Good morning to Nikki Sylvester, Silverly. Good morning to all my elite warriors. Good morning, Cabrino Philip. Hope all is well with you. Jester, I turn it over to you now.
All right. Good morning to Gordon Bushes Richardson, Leslie Nicholas, and his wife, Wayne Ted John, Andy Moose, Bartholomew. Well, I much touch on I2 too, although you did that just a while ago. Yeah. Mrs. Glean out there in Boston, to you and the family, special good morning. Yeah. The Hill Street people, Celia Robinson and family, Top of the morning to you. Claire out there in Maho, good morning. Miss Gladys out there in Madays. Kathy out there in London, good morning to you. Justin Tutman and his wife, good morning to you. Um, Michelle out there in Riverside, godchild as she calls herself. Top of the morning to you. And who else? Trisha out there in St. David's. Good morning, Miss Patricia Bissessa. Special good morning to you. All right. And just in case I would have missed anyone, I also saying good morning to you indeed. All right, Claire. So
So
that's it for
I just want to say good morning to my brother who is listening out there in London. Good morning to your Alvin and family. How are you?
good morning to Francis Pierre. He's already on the call, man. Carl Belfon. Good morning. Yeah. Francis Pierre is there, Claire.
Yes,
Waiting
he
for
is.
Mr. Pierre. Don't really make me laugh.
Yep, yep.
Never a dull moment with Mr. Pierre. I want to Claire, Mr. Pierre have one unique laugh there.
Yeah, this is who he is.
Oh gosh. So then what's up, girl? So me and Dugo had a little a little discussion this morning, because fisherman birthday was celebrated yesterday in Guave. That's the hallmark of the Guave and St. John's people, you know. Every year come the 29th of June. So I believe they had a sort of the battle with the police this year because where they usually have the stage set up on the lands, which occupy part of the road, the police um, advised against it this year. Clear.
Hmm.
After about 30 years, it's been a long time they've been having it that way. But sometimes it's difficult for it to accept change. And but what I'm saying is that they are not some people they are not happy, right, with the move of the police. And I really believe, as I tell Dugo a while ago, I hope from here on that they could work together to meet each other halfway, you understand? So all the parties involved can be a bit comfortable with whatever decision comes up. I believe it's maybe something that was rushed at the end of it all, and some people are not happy with the decision taken by the police as to where they relocated the stage. So I really hope, they come to a compromise. Yeah, that's my wish. All right. What else, boy? Clear the people in Venezuela, boy. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, the death toll has now moved up to 1,700, 1,700, and it's over 3,000 people been injured. They had a back-to-back
Earthquake. Hmm.
earthquake. Yeah, the first one had measured 7.2. The second was 7.5 on the Richter scale, man. And this is heavy. This is, and what Grenadians have to understand is that a lot of people from Grenada traveled to Venezuela in the late 60s, the 70s, early 80s. Yeah. So we have a lot of relatives out there.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
time when would come when we are called upon again to stretch forth our hands to aid this this nation that is in a dire situation. I've been seeing some of the photos and thing what is happening down there, and it's really really not easy. They are getting some relief now, but um, the situation is dread, really. So that's my concern, and I urge Grenadians that when the time come, you know. You genuinely stretch forth your hands to aid the people of Venezuela. And as a nation on a whole, Venezuela have been helping Grenada too on bilateral relations. You know, understand what I'm saying? So it is important that we give back in turn. Yeah. Anything to say on that?
Well, the funny thing is, that same day there were three earthquakes. There were California. They said Japan got a touch of it also,
Yeah.
and Venezuela. So,
So yeah, go on. Mhm.
so I think they are on the same plate. So when that plate moved, all three of them got touched by, but Venezuela got the worst of it.
But Claire, the next thing is that we have to be on our P's and Q's because we had some earth tremors earlier on in the year. So you just never know. It's probably getting closer and closer to us. We just never know. As
Hmm.
they say, when your neighbor house is burning, what you should be wetting yours. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
must be of concern to us. You know, it can happen to us at
yes,
any time. Just
yes,
never
yes.
know. You know,
Hmm.
this global warming as they term it. Anything is happening these days, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Clearly,
So that's
The World Cup fever is on, and my team Brazil moved from the round of 32 now into the round of 16. But I tell you, them little Japanese really pressed upon us yesterday, man. I'm telling you what, Japan scored on us first yesterday, you know, Clay. This little Japanese and them, what? Their stamina so they running. Watch, they dangerous on the counter attack. Yeah. It took a
hmm.
team like Brazil, the very experienced, and Carlo Ancelotti, that's the coach, a real tactician, really.
But you,
So at the end of the first half, they went in at we are 1-0 down, Brazil. But after the second half, he made some changes, man. I'm telling you, we come and took possession of that game because we are having most of the ball possession and we started making some diagonal passes come going into the box. And yeah, Casimiro was able to knot one inside, equalize. And then the game, the battle was on. But where the difference came for us this time on, we are having more of the ball possession. And you know, anytime you're having more of the ball possession, what's likely to happen. And in the extra time, in the dying stage, what's the guy name again, boy? Look, I'm forgetting him now. He put one in. The goalkeeper did well. He saved well too. He got a finger to it, but it wasn't enough to push it away from the upright. And so it hit the inside of the upright and into the back of the net. And clear, that take out the big stone on my chest. Yeah. And then mash up the table inside you say, "Why you telling me, man?" Oh, that sign of relief. Yes, the football fever is on. I know Canada is already through to the
you
round
should
of
have
six.
mashed it up. You just have to build another one.
On Sunday, Canada defeated South Africa 1-0. Who's there also last night? It was who went through Morocco. You know. That was a serious game between Morocco and Netherlands last night as well. And I'm telling you, Morocco got the better of them. Yeah, it was.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it is football season. I'm not.
Yeah.
I only see the scores anyway. I don't look at any games.
Hmm.
No, because you know me. When I get involved in the sporting thing, I get headache, I get anxiety attack, and all that. So I decide I'm not doing any of that. I'm just listening to the score.
Uncle, listen to that. You wouldn't imagine a big team is out, you know. Four times title holder of the World Cup. Germany. Yeah, Paraguay. Put them out, you know. And
Hmm.
let me tell you what was Paraguay's strategy because they know the Germans and them. The Germans are a higher ranked team than them in any case, right? And Paraguay scored on them first, and then Germany equalized, and then at the end of regulation time, they had to go. They went into extra time. So Paraguay decided to soak up the pressure. They just decided that they were going to defend. So they defend and decide to the whole of Germany. And they say, well, let's see what will happen if we get into penalty kicks. I could have seen that was the plan of Paraguay. And Claire, at the end of it all, he walked out for Paraguay. And they won on penalty kicks.
Well, I'll have to say congratulations to all who made it, and those who did not make it, sorry about that. There's always a next time.
Yes, yeah. So the football fever is on. It's definitely on. But let's move on. What else? What else do you want to talk about that before we get into our thing?
Well, I hope you have doctors. I do hope that they have doctors to deal with all of those who had the fever and then the fever went too high when the team lose.
Girl, you would not. Watch, let me tell you something. In this thing, it will be joy, tears of joy for some, and it will be uh,
Listen, I
tears
saw
of sadness for some. Some will be broken, some will be uplifted. And that is exactly what will happen going right down to the wire.
a thing where the team, I think it's some team lost and they canceled all the first class tickets to go back home. They all had to pay them to go home.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I think I heard something, but I haven't gotten the real
I'm not
details.
sure if it's Uruguay or Honduras or one of those Latin American team that lost and they did.
Oh, so that's how it is, man. You know.
Okay, so I think it's time for us, Jester, to get on board.
Mhm.
And
So, Claire, could you outline what the program will be like for our listeners and viewers before I have to
it
play
is how
first?
can we combat?
Okay. All right. So let me first of all I have to play something there for our listeners. Let me just get onto it one time.
I'm sober thinking, my mind is a buzzing, I can't sleep. Should I take the leap? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear. They say it's within, but I can't find a thing. I need peace. When will it cease? Help, oh God, I plead. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear. Just wanna live, just wanna give what's inside. Don't wanna hide anymore. Some say you decide, shouldn't the great one guide? Am I wrong? Where do I belong? Help, oh Holy One. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here somewhere. Who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. It's just not clear.
Wow. Indeed.
Jester,
Eh?
Jester, fix the camera. You're out of range. Send to yourself. I'll tell you when you get there. Come on, come on, come on. Come more. There you go. Stop right there.
Well, Claire, what a powerful rendition indeed. And when you first sent me that song, right, I did not listen to it in its entirety. I briefly listened to it. But this morning, I took the time off because I knew I was coming on the program and I listened to the song deeply. And I was like, wow. I never realized how powerful that song was. And the music and everything is really, really nice. It's really this morning that it really dawned on me how I'm telling you, man. Trust me. So let me say good morning to you, Sarana.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, yeah, I'm hearing you nice and clear, real powerful. You know. And
Okay, okay. Where are you, Jester? Are you in the Caribbean or are you in North America?
North America, Grenada.
Oh, you're
Exactly.
Grenada. Okay. Hi, Claire. How you doing?
Good morning, Sarana. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Claire?
But Claire, before you start, I just want to ask Sarah, was that your putting together of the entire song, everything?
Yes, I wrote it. I created the melody. I just had the work of oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name now. Oh jeez. Please don't let me look for his name. The producer. Oh my gosh. Please forgive me. My perimenopause brain is kicking in this morning.
No, but that is okay. I mean, I must highly compliment you for putting that work together. I mean, you did exceedingly well. Trust me, my skin raised as I'm telling you.
Oh
Trust me.
my gosh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Gary Steele. Gary Steele is a producer. Have mercy. Sorry. Sorry, Gary. I hope you don't hear this.
He will understand.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Yes.
Claire, you can. I leave it up to you now to take the
Okay, so
lead in this
today
session.
we're
Yeah.
talking about how can we combat the negative stigma of mental health in society.
Hi. Um,
Let me tell you, Jester, I am going to go out and I'm going to come back in, but you and Serena stay right there. But I'm going to come back out, okay?
You're going in to come back
Yeah.
out. Okay, no problem.
hi, Jester. So it's just the two of us. Let's have a party. Woo, woo,
Yes,
Alright.
we.
So, Serena, I mean, so what inspired you to really to put that track together, man? How did
Well, I was coming out of a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, and I was coming out of depression, and it was my way of challenging God, but at the same time getting responses from within. Is Jester gone, or is he still there? Anybody? Am I alone? So yeah, basically I was coming out of depression and I was challenging God. I don't know. Claire, are you hearing me? Okay. Jester's gone and I'm here talking. I don't know if anybody is viewing.
I'm hearing
And
you. I'm hearing you. Go
oh, okay,
ahead.
okay, okay. Yeah. So Jester asked me before he disappeared what inspired me. And basically I was coming out of depression and um I realized then that I got this unknowing gift to express myself through poetry and song and writing through words. And I just started, it started as a poem, as most of my songs do. It started as a poem and it has its history from, I don't know if you were brought up Catholic, but within the Catholic Church, the the oh Lord, my brain. But anyway, in the catechism, right? In the catechism, Lord. The catechism, it says the catechisms ask you, who are you? Who made you? Why did he make so the answers in the catechism, they're like, who made you? God made me. Why did he make me to love him in this world and in the next? And there's a whole lot of questions. I don't know if you were brought up Catholic, you know the catechism and how the is structured. So the song came out of that. There I was questioning God, who am I? Why am I here? I mean, the answers that I was taught as a child in church wasn't sufficing. It wasn't making sense to me anymore. And so I started to pen and I was like, well, who am I? Why am I here? The answer's in here. So the whole song is about trying to find your purpose after going through something very dark and as I did. And so I'm questioning myself, I'm questioning God, and I'm seeing in the end that the answer is within. So I'll find my purpose, but it's within, basically.
But I saw from the video of the song you're actually crying. So
Yes,
how,
because
how was that? How was that
it's
captured?
it's depression is not pretty. Okay. There are times people go through depression and they would be like they'll be coping in such a way that they have a mask on in society and they seem to be smiling and everything is all good. But in reality, they're dying. But when it comes to a point where you can no longer mask it, it's not pretty. You don't brushing your teeth, you ain't combing your hair, you ain't bathing, you either you're eating too much or you don't eating at all, you're sleeping too much. It's a mess all around. You don't want to clean, you don't want to go outside, you don't want to see anybody. This is the reality of what depression true, like I shouldn't say true because there are different levels, but deep depression could be, right? And I decided not to make it look pretty because we like to gloss over things and make things look pretty to to make others feel comfortable. Reality is when you're going through things like that, it's not pretty. So I decided to tell the story as honest as I could, and that's what I did.
Okay, so how were you able to help rise above the challenge that you were facing at the time?
It's not one thing. Um, it's a lot of things. And I smile because many times people tell you when you're going through depression or you have been diagnosed with a mental health condition, they tell you snap out of it, get over it. If I could have snapped out of it, I would have because I hated having people watching me. I hated people shooing like, want why she don't stop that, that kind of thing. And I did not want that, but I couldn't, like, I was so down and out, I couldn't stop it. And therein lies, I decided, I have a daughter. So I decided that under no uncertain terms will I crumble and not be able to take care of myself, because who will take care of me? I have nobody, because nobody stood up with me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had to struggle. People I didn't know came out of the woodworks and helped me here, there, and everywhere, but I had to do the work. And as with everything else, you have to do the work, and it's a lot of work. So, one, I was given medication, which I fought at the beginning, because you know us with the Caribbean background, we don't want no medication. We ain't taking no medication. That's us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reality, I had to come to the reality that I need help. I need something outside to help me. And I was willing to get off my high horse and accept it. Then it came to the point where I exposed myself to different material that I could read so that I could help myself. In so doing, um, I would read materials about positivity to lift myself out of that. So I would speak positive over my life, but I didn't feel it, but I kept doing it, because there are times in life where you do things where you don't feel it, but you just do it anyway. And that started in 2000, and I had my breakdown in 2007, 8, around there. So this started in 2008, 9, 10 strong. And I am now fully reaping the benefits of all the hard work. Okay. I would go for walks. I would listen to music. I would write. I would talk positive over my life. I got myself out of situations that were not healthy. Um, I surrounded myself with positive information. I did not, I, I kept going. I kept doing, and I kept encouraging myself, because, as I said before, I had no one. No one stood up for me. No one stood by me. So I had to do what I had to do to take care of me. And that is what I had to do. Is anyone there? I think we're having some technical issues this morning. Um, I don't know who's viewing. Um, I don't know if I'm still on. If I am still on, someone give me a nod. I don't see Claire, nor do I see Jester. Um, I don't know who else is here. I think we're having technical difficulties. I'm getting a message. Let me see. Okay. So I guess I'm on the show. Hey everybody, I'm Sarada Mitchell. It's Sorena, not Serena, not Surena, not it's So. I think I take over Clay show this morning. But the reality is, with the issue of mental health, one has to keep, it's not a one-off, it's a daily process. It's a daily process. It's recommitting daily to put yourself first, take care of yourself, to talk positive over yourself. I say talk positive over yourself. You can call it affirmations. Some might, you take care of the physical, you take care of the mental, you take care of the emotional. You take care of who you surround yourself with. If the people around you are not healthy, or as you know, the trending word these days, toxic, if the people are toxic, you remove yourself from them, or you remove them from you. Um, I think in the beginning, Jester was asking about how do we stigma, the whole stigma of mental illness. And it's not something that would leave us 100% because there are many people who live within a hierarchy of life. So we stereotype people and decide who is better than whom, and we treat people accordingly. So because there's this hierarchy of people, we people with mental health conditions are either feared, ridiculed, uh, they are they're feared, they're ridiculed, and they're ostracized. And many times they don't know how to take care of themselves fully because they fight medication. And in the process of fighting medication, they fight in the stigma. But everything has, I know that the issue of medication is a ticklish thing. Everything has side effects. Everything has side effects. So if you eat too much food, you get fat. Yes, yeah, there is the anomaly. There are those who eat a lot and you don't see it. Okay. So the issue, eat too much, you get fat. You don't eat, you get skinny and you can have anorexia and other issues. That's other issues. If you overwork yourself, you can suffer from burnout and other issues. So there are side effects to everything. The side effect that I I I live with as a result of taking medication is weight gain. Um, and then that too is has to do with the fact that my appetite is huge. So I it's a lot of work to try to stimulate. So the medication issue, the medication is something that okay, oh my gosh. I was talking
Oh, oh my
earlier
God.
earlier the rain. Is it the rain? Is it the
Hold on,
rain?
hold on here. To all my listeners and viewers, of course, I do want to apologize for what went on just a few moments ago. But here, the three of us are back together, meaning myself, my co host, CJ, and our special guest, Sarah Mitchell. So we are back again to edify you this morning on the stigma, the negative stigma of mental health and how it can affect us in society. So, um, Claire, you can take it from here.
Well, Serena should go and continue what you're saying, Serena.
All right.
O-
Oh, yes. I'm sorry
Okay,
about
I
that.
was just winging it. I was talking because I realized that I was on, and so instead of just sitting there and dreaming, I decided to just talk. uh, mental health itself, the term has to do with it's not just mental illness, it's being able to withstand whatever comes your way. And so the word we don't like to use, the term we don't like to use is mental illness because of the negative connotation. We And so I know because of the negative connotation, I choose to use terminologies like mental health conditions or so. but mental illness is what it is, right? And the stigma, we have a lot of work to do. And to fight the stigma, it comes down to education and material like what was produced, the song and the video. It helps to give a window into what people with depression per se go through. All right. Um, you're fighting something that people cannot see. You know, you are feeling down, you're heavy, you're laden, you don't want to get out of bed. You feel like if there is a ton of bricks on top of you because you don't want to move, you can't move. You understand? So, and people watching you, they're like, well, what should have just snap out of it? What should have stop the stupidness? Right? And then there are those who go from the low end, the depression, to they have manic actions. They start acting out, um, and that could lead to people calling the police because you might take running naked, you might take fighting with someone, but there are times to keep that from going to that extreme. Family members who are there, instead of being ashamed and scared and worried, yes, the worry is welcomed, but seek to get help for your relative. I know as an adult, the adult has to make that decision, but there comes a time if you see that person is not in any way helping themselves, something has to be done. There has to be an intervention, right? And the person should be encouraged to get help. The person should be encouraged to hear what the therapist or the psychologist or psychiatrist might say. The psychiatrist is responsible for giving medication. The psychologist would work as counselor slash giving guidance as to how to work through your day. So the whole process, it takes a lot, and I'm telling you, depression drains you. Depression drains you. You ain't do nothing, but you're tired like you work for a whole year. Okay? Because this is moving. This is
Yeah.
working. Okay? And then you can't sleep, right? And sleep is so important, you know? So the stigma it has a lot to do with education. And the hope is that when you know better, you do better. That doesn't always work because ingrained in us is a lot of what we've been taught from childhood. So we would react to people from what we've been taught. So we have to unlearn a lot of things and learn new ways of dealing with each other. You understand? So as I said, educational material like the song, we should have more music like that. We should have plays, movies, but at the same time, I would like to give a different path to that song. So this is the depression. So the next part is the intervention and where there is growth out of it. So I many who looked at the video before said, why don't you? And I said, no, this song has to do really and truly with the hell people go through with depression. Right? You're asking yourself, why am I here? What the heck? Can't take this. So I don't want to gloss over it and make it look pretty and move on to the sun is shining, um, angels are singing, we're dancing. It doesn't always takes time. As I was telling you, Jester, I started work on myself in 2000, 2008, 9, 10, and I'm now reaping the full benefits of it. It has taken me years of lots of work and continuing to go and continuing to push and to encourage myself, talk myself positively, take the medication, um, remove people who are negative around me, uh, remove myself from toxic situations, and expose myself to positivity. And it takes a lot. It's work. You know, like every day you get up and you're going to work, you play, you do your show, Jester, whatever you do, your show, whatever else. That's work. So imagine someone having to take care of their mental health, and everyone has to take care of their mental health, not just people with mental illness. Everyone has to take care of their mental health. But imagine someone with a mental illness trying to fit into this rigid world that we live in, because that's it. Society is very rigid. Unless you choose to be somewhat like me, who don't care, who don't give, just do whatever. But I mean, not without consequences and so on. But the fact of the matter is, you do your thing. You know, it's work, because there are days when I feel heavy, and I don't want to call it depression because I know what depression really, real depression really feels like. I feel down, I feel out, and I just have to kick myself into gear and speak some positive words and just get up and keep moving and push myself and encourage myself, sing a song, dance, talk stupidness with my friends, that sort of thing, and encourage myself daily. So I know I'm not the only one, and there are other people whom I've spoken with. And so yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And something, and I'm talking a lot. So if you want to kick in and ask me any
I'm gonna kick in
questions.
right now.
Okay, Claire.
Okay. You said in the song, a part of the song, it says, I want peace. Did you find your peace, or are you finding your peace? And how can you help
Hallelujah.
others?
I have peace. I have peace. And there is a song, I can't remember if it's in the Bible or wherever, but I know the song we sang in church. I think they still sing it in church. I don't go to church as I should. Um, the song, Peace, Peace to know, Peace to give. I can't remember how it goes. My peace I give unto you. Do you guys know that song? My
Yeah, I know.
peace I give unto you. It's a peace that the world cannot give. It's a peace that the world cannot understand. Peace to know, peace to give. So that, and then they have love, joy, and whatever going down the line.
I've got a message
So
for you, Joanna.
what?
Do you know Mary Mitchell?
Yeah, that's my brother.
I know it's your brother. He says, good morning, Serena. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I know it's your brother. I know your other
Hi,
brother.
big
I'm very
brother.
close to your
Hi, big
brothers.
brother. Hi, big brother. No, it's a piece that I don't know how to explain it. Um, and what happened is that I got mad at God when I got the diagnosis, and it's normal. And I wanted nothing to do with church. I wanted nothing to do with God. Because there I was like, God, I know I'm not Jesus Christ, but I'm not a bad person. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I tried to do X, I tried to do Y. And this is what is happening to me. I don't like you. Okay. And it's like, God was like, okay, I'm going to leave you alone. Fight with yourself if you want, sister. My child, fight with yourself. And I didn't want anything to do with God. But slowly and surely, I knew I can look back now and see where he was taking care of me, because without him, I don't know where I'd be. Okay. So he took care of me. He guided me, he protected me, and I needed that so much, the guidance and the protection. And the relationship I have with God now is so cool. It's not like I need to go to church and find him. You understand? That peace I'm talking about is it I don't know, it's a peace that I can't explain.
Is it
It's
an inner peace?
it's inner, it's outer, it's everywhere. And so it doesn't mean that I don't get angry, it doesn't mean that whatever, but it means that I have challenges, but I don't let it overpower me because there is a peace that guides me. I things happen, but there's that peace knowing that everything will work out for the good. And it came out of not giving up. It came out of, even though I cussed out God, um, I still went back like the prodigal daughter. And, you know, I had conversations with him. And well, that's my good buddy. I mean, if it's,
You know
we
what?
good.
You know
We
what? He
good.
never fails us. We're the one that fails him all the time.
Yeah, I do a kind of wrong thing, but he's there for me. So that peace, I give thanks for it. I didn't know what it was like. I've heard people talk about it, but it's not something that happened overnight for me. It is something that was a process. You understand? And I know I don't know if someone is looking at this and they're going through whatever you're going through. It could be a mental health condition, it could be financial issues that's affecting your ability to sleep, which could further affect your mental health. It could be cancer, it could be some autoimmune disease, it could be whatever it is, physical, mental, whatever. If you want to get mad at God, that's normal. I think that's normal. If you are raised in faith and you feel that God has left you, I understand that feeling.
Okay, here's a
But
question for you.
mhm,
It says mental health stigma can take many forms. It talks about structural stigma, public stigma,
mhm,
self stigma. I know you
mhm,
spoke about all of that. While we were out, I was listening to you and I got everything that you covered. I wasn't in the picture, but I was not in I was not out.
mhm,
And it says structural stigma involve laws, regulations, and policies that can limit the rights of those with
mhm,
mental health condition, right?
mhm, mhm,
It says
mhm,
public stigma, which includes negative attitudes and belief from individuals or from larger groups towards people with mental health conditions on their families or healthcare providers that care for them. We spoke about that.
mhm,
You said you had no
mhm.
one. You had to do it
Yeah,
yourself. So
yeah, and
here's the one that I'm coming
mhm,
at. Self
mhm,
stigma. And I stuck to this one. It says self stigma, which comes from within the person with a mental health conditions. People living with mental health conditions may believe they are flawed or blame themselves for having the condition.
mhm,
And
mhm. That's what we're talking about now.
right.
Yeah, and I pass it on to God.
So here this self stigma happens when the labeled individual will self handicap, self label, and use the label as an excuse for failure, limiting their development.
Mhm,
And here
mhm,
what the effects can be: feeling damaged, feeling weak,
mhm,
feeling
mhm,
vulnerable,
mhm,
dressing inconspicuously to be less visible in public, not
mhm,
speaking up for himself or herself,
mhm,
holding back from seeking positions or promotions, and feelings of embarrassment, diminishment, and self hatred.
mhm.
You've been through all of this, right?
Yes, yes. And I
And
still go through it.
right.
The
And I know there are
structural, the
millions
public,
of us that are doing
and
the
the
same.
personal. Yeah. Because I remember when I remember people laughing at me openly because I had a relapse 5 years ago. Um, Plus, I went to a workplace where people you would think who had more sense, in to use our words. And one of the persons at the table was like, "Aren't you crazy?" And I was just like, "Well, I am diagnosed with a mental health condition. And it does not mean that I'm crazy, but I take medication." So while they have, as I was saying, there's this hierarchy we create in our minds, and we ostracize others who do not fit within that hierarchy. So already you decide, because I have a mental health condition, I am nobody, right? And because of that, you treat me accordingly. And it happens in families as well. You have this ingrained belief that the person is flawed and no good, no use to themselves, so you could do them whatever you want, right? And I have come to the point where I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. So goodbye.
So
That's
let me ask you here, right? Because um, it must mean that you probably may have some precondition as to how to deal with, so you don't go back to get that relapse. How do you? What are some of the preconditions that to deal with people that may tend to torment you of that nature or in such a
first
way?
and foremost. I remove them from my everyday life. I mean, there are people who are in situations that it's hard for them to get out of. I'll give you a scenario. You're a young person and the pressure is on you to take care of everything, and you have been diagnosed with a mental health condition and you're getting no help from no one in your family, and all the pressure is on you financially and everything, and you keep having breakdown because it's too much, and no one is seeing that as too much. And that is something that someone shared with me who's going through that. And I can say from the outside, you have to get out of that situation, but it's easier said than done because a person is not financially able to take care of his or herself. You understand? So you have to think about getting room and board. You have to be able to pay your utilities. You have to be able to go to work. So there are people who, in situations that make their mental health condition worse. And it's sad to say that sometimes families, well, relatives, because I have decided there's a definition, or not I have decided, I've been encouraged to find that there's a difference between relatives and family. Relatives, blood. Family, you choose them. That's me. Okay. And your relatives don't understand or choose not to understand, and they abuse you because when you are in that situation, you're easily abused. If someone I have heard of people with mental health conditions who have been abused financially, who have been abused sexually, who by the people and who are expected to take care of them and protect them. Okay? So because you think the person is no one, you have reduced them to nothing. So because you feel that person is nothing, that means anything goes. You could do them anything, anytime, anyhow, because they're non-human because of a diagnosis. And these are things I have experienced, and I decide I'm not taking it, which has made me the bad one, but I choose to just be like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And I just have to, as my mother used to say, Rumo Kanu. You understand? So there are people who are in situations, if you have to get out of the situation, and I know it's easier said than done, but if you're in a toxic situation, it does not help your mental health. And if you're diagnosed with a disorder, it makes it worse. If you're a normal person and you're in a toxic situation, it affects you. Imagine someone with a disorder. You understand? So you have to remove yourself from the situation. And as I said before, it's easier said than done, but it's something that has to be done.
Okay, so here's that. How the media, the media, journalism, it is saying that the media, they put a whole emphasis on the media, that journalism and journalists, the efforts to report accurately and effectively on mental health issues. One point is treating those living with a mental health condition, understanding, empathy, and acceptance so that no one feels the need to hide their condition. Having personal direct contact with people living with mental health condition have been shown to combat negative stereotypes and reduce stigma.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
so we
it's
are in Grenada. Let's say we're all Grenadians. I'm not in Grenada at the moment, but we are in Grenada. How is the media playing a part in dealing with mental health issues as we speak? Because we are using the word stigma.
um I think both of us, not I think, both of us were exposed to training a few years ago as to how the media should report on cases of mental health, of, for example, people who die by suicide. And recently, how it was handled by several social media reporters was abhorrent. Um, I made a post about it because I was very angry. The reason being, someone died by suicide. I know the desire to be first. Okay. As a child, this is what drew me to wanting to read the news on radio and so on. I never wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on radio. I was obsessed with radio. So I just wanted, and then I learned that you have to be first and you have to be, the one to tell a story. So I understand the desire to be first, but there are ethics involved. And it has shown that when you report a story and you are so, I mean, yes, you need to be detailed and yada, yada, yada. But do you need to say that the person drank whatever poison, the name of it, the amount they drank? You don't need to do that, because what happens is that someone else watching that gets ideas. That person is already struggling and say, oh, so Claire drinks so and so, I'm going to mix it too.
Yes,
No, this is what
copycat.
happens. That is what exactly, and that is the reason why when, for example, you have those mass shootings, they don't show the shooters' faces. They don't give you all these amounts because they realized they were doing it in the earlies and they stopped because too many people were copycatting. No, a lot of people are going through problems. You might have an idea in your mind, like, Lord, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you hear Claire do it. Eh, good reason to go and do it too. Because if Clay could do it, I could do it too. You understand? And it's the same because social media, not just social media, radio, media in general, but social media is so powerful in that it's affecting our mental health. Because you're seeing people posting their pretty lives and your life ain't pretty, so you want to have that pretty life too. So you will do whatever to get that pretty life, but you don't know that pretty life is staged and fake. You understand? That's the same thing with when you're a reporter. Yes, you have to be detailed. Like this person was talking about, she wrote a story and it was a wonderful story. But looking back, she didn't need to put that the woman's yard or whatever was unkept. Why do you need to say that her living room was unkempt, this was that and that? She had a fire. You report on the fire. Why should I now need to know if her house was clean or dirty or whatever? It's you have to now be able to be human. You have to be human in the process. So I believe the few of us who were exposed to the reporting, we were fortunate. I think more people, more reporters, more journalists they need to be exposed to the ethics of journalism. I know, and I will keep repeating, I know the desire to be first. I know the desire to be first. But you have to remember that that was a human being. That person has family. Then you don't know who's watching and who's going through what. So you have to filter it through so many levels. It's not just, hey, so and so die by suicide, I'm going live. You understand? And you're going live for what? To get the likes, to get the views. So I think that they're learning slowly but surely. I think there's more work that needs to be done. Um, Kudos to, I think it was not UNESCO, one of the UN companies that did that.
Paho.
PAHO, well, yeah, still under UN. So yeah, I think that we need to think about, you have, when you're a reporter, when you're a journalist, when you're in media, it's not just you. It's not about you looking pretty. It's not about you getting likes just like that and followers. You have a responsibility because you don't know who's looking at you, who's listening to you, and whose life you're impacting as a result.
Just let me put it out there that we are having this conversation this morning on how can we combat the negative stigma of mental health in society. And the number that you can reach us at right now is 404-1189. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and call your neighbor and say, the great Serena Michelis, who am I? Why am I here? Oh
You know something,
God.
you know something, as we're talking about mental health, it's interesting. I was reading, for the past few weeks, I've read about two or three articles surrounding this. Um, the use of cannabis and how it's increasing the amount of um, psychosis in young people, especially young people, and the increase in the number of psychosis induced by cannabis and the amount that's leading to other mental health conditions because of the use of excessive use of cannabis. And I know I grew up, I was one of those who was all power to legalize it and everything. I know I used to be chanting that song, Blame My Brother Mary, because he loved reggae. No, I used to be, as a little girl, I didn't know what to sing, but I used to watch my cross say, legalize it, yeah. Like, come on.
Gosh.
And I still I'm not bashing it or anything, because alcohol, psychosis associated with excessive alcoholism and so forth. Sometimes you have um a leaning towards a mental health condition and you don't know. And you go and smoke marijuana, cannabis, and the research is showing that the amount of the chemical in it, it's not the cannabis that they used to have in the 70s and 60s. They've done whatever they've done to it. So it's affecting the brain in such a way that it's increasing the amount of psychosis that is seen among young people, and other mental health disorders. So I just wanted to share this since we're talking about mental health and everything. Again, I'm not bashing cannabis. I'm not bashing nothing, because as a young person, I used to be chanting and getting on or whatever. But I never smoked it. But um, it's just something that people need to be aware of, you know,
Mm.
in the
You know,
process.
I'm in Canada and in the US. Every corner that you turn into, you see in a cannabis shop everywhere, and they have the
Mhm.
nice, sexy names for them. You wouldn't even think it's a
Mhm.
cannabis store. And
Mhm.
I'm like, did we come to be depending on these things now to survive? And I just say it's affecting the health of young people because they're not only taking the cannabis, they are vaping, they're drinking alcohol, they're doing all kinds of different things that combine with that. And then we see so many crazy people or mentally disabled people on the
Yes.
streets of Toronto, New York, Grenada,
Mhm.
everywhere, because whatever they see in the US
Yes.
and Canada, they practice it right here at home.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is because they're popping a lot of pills. They are taking all sorts of fentanyl, name it. They're doing all kind of things. And one of the concerns they're having is that they're seeing that less young people are drinking alcohol, but more are popping pills and using cannabis. And it's responsible for the amount of psychosis they're seeing in young people and even other disorders. I've been reading, I don't know, like when I'm scrolling, I get in all these stories, and I'm making sure that it's fact checked. So it's not just people writing whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
But
I
I
would.
really
I,
go
I
ahead.
just put in there with the use of the cannabis. Whatever you are using, it's about how you use it, because even things that you like. So yeah, somebody they may like cake, but if you eat too much of cake, you know what it will do. If you use too much of sugar. So at the end of the day, it's how you use it. It's how you use it, because whereas it may be affecting some based on how they use or maybe
Okay.
abuse,
Yeah.
you could say, there are others who get quite a bit of relief based on what they are going through. So, for example, I understand people that go through asthma. It's a relief for them using it. So it's a matter of how you use it again. It's
Yeah, well, yeah, it has to be guided medicinally.
Mhm.
Um, so the recreational use of it, the excessive use of it, that's one of the concerns they're having right now. Because I was just like, as I said, I was chanting, and I was when I heard about the legalization, I was like, yeah, Peter Tosh. But with everything, with freedom comes responsibility.
Sure.
And you've heard that said. So it's free, it's all over. How do I now be responsible with my access use and how it affects me? Because young people, I think the brain is still developing up to close to 30 years, 25 to 30 years old. The brain is still developing, and that is the age group that puffing away. You understand? So the it's cause for people to be concerned about, because right now there is I think it's 2 billion, or no, I don't know the number, but there are so many people in the world now who are who have a mental health disorder and who are taking medication because of mental health disorder. And then there's another discussion as to too much medication. There are different ways of dealing with things, but that's a different topic for a different time. With who you would need a doctor on and so on for that purpose. But there are
Do
so many people right now.
do you think
Go ahead.
that having open communications about the stigma of mental health can really help us in society.
Sure. Look at how we've been able to address the whole thing about HIV/AIDS. There was a time when you hear you don't want to touch nobody, you don't want to see nobody, but and no, the reality. I remember when I was in convent and you know better, but you're still scared. They're telling you there was somebody have a pin going around and drinking people and giving people AIDS. So everywhere I'm looking, but
Let me give you a
they tell
story.
you that it must be blood transfusion, sexual.
Let me give you a story. I when I used to work at these trade shows, there was a guy that was really, really good friends with me. And then he left. And then he came back to visit. And I was walking late one night. And he came to me and he says, so where's the manager? And I said, well, she left for the day. And he said, are you alone? And I said, yes. So chatting with him, I said, so where have you been? And he says, I've been all over and stuff like that. And then he hugged me and I hugged him because he's my friend. And then
Mhm.
he dropped the bomb. I am HIV positive. And I'm like, I froze. And I said, okay, in my mind. And then he left. And let me tell you, he left and I left. And I got home. And let me tell you, I showered like no
And
tomorrow. I
you're
scrubbed everything
washing down
out of
everything.
my skin.
And even though the education is that it has to be sexually transmitted, blood
I wasn't thinking
transfusion,
about that at the
whatever,
moment. and I and my
you're
husband
just
said to me,
thinking
he says,
exposure.
Claire, you cannot get it's like that. I said, what? I said, I don't care. And and then my brain went into forward gear. And I said, you know what, Claire, you gotta stop it. Because you see, when you hear the word
Woo.
HIV and AIDS at the time, you weren't thinking about you can get it just to sexual transmission or or semen or fluid from your mouth from kissing and all that. No, it was just that that person had it and you're afraid.
Yeah. So,
And this
and
is where
the
mental health
work,
comes in now.
right? The work that has been done to destigmatize HIV/AIDS worldwide, although it still has its pockets. There needs to be a continuous campaign like that. I think that there are so many people, and there are so many people who live with a mental health condition. Some of them are very good at masking it. Some of them you would never know because they would go to private doctors and get their medication, and no one knows they have everything under control. And again, because of the stigma, they don't want nobody to know. And I don't blame them because, I mean, I have gotten hit. You understand? And and recently I got hit more than once. I wouldn't discuss, but and when the situation came up, I was just like, yeah, I know why. I know why I got passed over. I know why I didn't get through. I know why I wasn't chosen. And if someone was like, "Well, ask," I said, why would I go further? Why would no, mm-mm. I know why. And so I was just like, let me leave it alone. I have to make my own path. It's harder for me because I have to create my own path, right? Where the doors might be open for some people because they don't have that attention or that stigma on them. For me, I have to create my own path. I have to find ways to do my music. I have to find ways for my creativity. I have to find ways, so it's not easy. It's not easy. And I chose not to hide and I chose not to be ashamed. Why? I don't know.
You have
It is
accepted
as if
it.
it was just thrown. I accepted it and I don't know why. And it's not like if I'm wearing it as a badge, because if you don't know, you wouldn't know. It's not like if I'm going around and telling everybody. No, I'm not that kind of person. But if the conversation comes up, I'm not going to hide and pretend and no, I'm not ashamed. I'm not
I'm not sure.
ashamed.
Listen, I'm not sure if you all are seeing me. Are we seeing each other?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
seeing you.
So because I'm having a terrible feedback, when I need to ask a question to you, Serrano, I'm going to put my finger up because I don't want to cut across it. So I'm going to put my finger up now.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So before that, let me say good morning to Jennifer Gagwamala. Thank you so much for checking in. So here's the question. Do you think that this should be taught in school?
Yes, yes. It's not just a matter of mental health, it's a matter of respect and respect for each other. Um, I know, for example, in the Japanese schools, for the first so many years, they don't do exams or anything. They teach them about respect, about, taking care of each other and stuff like that. Learn from that. We need to teach each other that when you have students in the classroom with different learning styles, it teach each one and it teach each other that everyone is not the same. Okay, you have a child with a neurodivergent, but they could still work in the classroom, but they might have an outburst or something. It helps me to understand that I'm like this, but he's not like that. And the teacher is using a different method in how to soothe him and get him better. Or she's not like this. So it helps me know, it exposes me to other people who are not the same. Because we aren't all the same. Claire would like this, Jester would like that, I like that, but there's the extreme. And that's why I think in Grenada and in many parts of the world, for example, you have the classrooms where they encourage students, they're teaching the teachers now to be able to deal with students with different learning styles. So you don't just lump everybody with a disability in one school, and you just grow up thinking everybody is the same, and then they are over there and I'm over here. So I think that it is necessary for us to learn to respect each other, and in learning to learn to respect each other, we need to be exposed to each other. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am going to read something, and it concerning the workplace. And I know, and a lot of us know, and those of us who do not know, pay attention about how to reduce stigma in the workplace. So here it goes. Focus on language. Terms used in jest or casual conversion can create or add stigmatization. Using derogatory terms such as Mr. OCD or schizo can sound like an attack on those struggling. Rethink sick days, normalizing the idea of tending to mental health using sick days can contribute toward an environment of mental and physical health. Open and honest conversation, creating a space where people can talk openly about mental health issues without fear of rejection or judgment creates psychological safety. Response training. Train employees in mental health first aid, a national program that helps recognize those struggling and connects them to resources that will help. The one that I really want to stick to is the name that they call you or me when we are going through mental health issues like OCD, she's OCD, or she's a schizo. Schizophrenic people, they have a mental health disorder just as the rest of us, they're just worse than us. Because as you said, Serena, earlier, each and every one of us on a daily basis has something mentally that we're dealing with.
Mhm.
But when you brand us with these names, you push us down further into the hole of us trying to get out from where we are. The address.
Yeah, definitely. The workplace is um someone had said to me some time ago that the workplace, a lot of people behave like they're still in high school in the workplace. Yeah, the cliques. Um, Everybody's going through something. right? You go in the workplace, you don't know if Jester and his wife fight last night. You don't know if Claire get a slap from her husband this morning. You, it's true. You don't know if my child throw down breakfast, throw all over the place, and make a mess and throw a tantrum. And you don't know what each person is dealing with. You don't. That's why I mean, I have learned, I was never always like this, but I have learned because of my own experiences to just be kind and show respect. Because if we learn respect from school to respect each other, because there are people who they come into work and you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know. And I don't know how it's affecting them up here. You don't know if the person's husband is abusing them. You don't know if their child is, if the husband is abusing the child and they have to hide that and they come into work and they have to put on the mask. You don't know if the wife is abusing the children and the husband had to pretend. So there are so many things that people are dealing with that's affecting their ability to process and deal with themselves and each other on a daily basis. It's not just people who are labeled with a mental health disorder. It's all of us. We are in this thing together. Whether you want to play your Mr. This and Miss This and whatever, you can't do it without the cleaner because the place go nasty. You cannot do it without the chef and the supermarket people because you ain't go have food, and especially the farmers. They dirty, they nasty. If they ain't go in the garden, you ain't a carrot and tomatoes. Okay? So we're in this, whether you want to believe you're this, you're that, we're in this together without each other. And that's why I have learned it's all about being kind. Just saying good morning, how are you? And not just say it because it's just said, but say it because you want to hear how that person is doing. So good morning, how are you? And they just keep moving. Hi, good morning. And something I have learned to do is compliment people. Sometimes that would lighten up their day. I would see Claire with a nice hairstyle. Wow, girl, that hair look fabulous. You look great. I love that necklace. I love that skirt. I love that shoes. And I get all so excited. Like if it's me, I'm silly like that. Like last week we were at work and someone was walking down. Well, I work at the Ministry of Education. Somebody was walking down from the ministry, and I was like, that person look real nice. I don't care. I don't know who it is, but I'm gonna tell him they look nice. And I ran and I was like, hey, miss. And then I realized I know who the person is. Miss, you look nice, sweet. And she started to laugh. Yes, yes, ma'am.
You know, the point that you made just now, and this is something I always think about, that we are no better than anybody else.
No.
No better. I always say that if you respect people, they will respect you. And regardless, as you say, the cleaner, the vendor, the whoever, you may be driving a Maserati and I'm driving a piece of gangbanger.
Are
But
you
when we
walking
go to
like
the
me?
grocery store, all of us goes to the same parking lot. You may buy rebuy whatever something, and I may be buying back a neck. But we are in the same store shopping. So when you look at the cleaners as though, well, okay, you got to clean whatever it is that I do inside there. You are no better than me because it takes each and every one of us to move the world that we are living in.
Exactly, exactly,
And I think
exactly.
if you teach yourself to respect people, it will come back to you because a lot of us has this thing about us. Oh, he disrespects me. But did you show respect to me?
Even with what you're saying there, sometimes you don't even get it back. You show respect, but you don't get it back, but that's
That's
fine.
okay. That's
That's fine.
okay.
That's fine. Because and it goes back to you do good for others, but you may not get it returned to you from the person. I might help you and I may never get it back from you, but I might get it from Jester. You understand? So just be open. Just be open. And I think it's all about at the end of the day, it's love. you know? And whether you want to look at it as respect or whatever, love encompasses all of that. If I love me and I love you, I ain't gonna hurt you. You understand? I wouldn't be calling you names because you have a disorder. I wouldn't be treating you less than because you have a disorder. Because of love. The word is love, and I just think that we have so much dealing with in this world. It's it's sad to say that, and I don't want to say it, but
Say it. Say it.
I don't
We
want
are
to
on
say
mental health. We are on mental health, and this is could help everybody else. Say it.
it. Let's just stick. It's just love.
Okay. It's
It's
you
just
too.
love.
Let
It's
me
just
tell
love.
you something. You we're in the learning process in our lives every day. And I've got a sister that is mute. And it is a mental health thing for me when people say to me, oh, the dummy. If you want to
Mm.
see me get livid or you want to see me get ethnic, just tell me my sister is a dummy. No, I'm serious.
I like that ethic. Oh my gosh.
Mm. No, because you see, we look at dogs and animals. We say they are dumb because they cannot speak or so. But I
Mhm.
say they have a language that they speak to us that we cannot understand. Because if you talk to your dog every day and you say certain things to it, they lean their head and they understand what you're saying. It's just that we cannot communicate with the words that come out in the mouth. And I know
Does your
that
sister use sign language?
she does perfectly. And she can read lips and everything like that. She went to the Governor Baxter School for the Deaf when she's growing up. So
So she's good.
she's good. And let me tell you, she has more sense in that little finger of hers than a lot of us have in the world. I'm telling you, those that call her dummy or call all the rest of them that are mute dummies, they have something to learn.
So the thing is, what I believe it's education to our
Mhm.
population as to how we deal and treat with the people in depression state and that have little mental issues. You understand what I'm saying? So Claire,
Yes.
you are right because um she's not dumb. She's not dumb. As a matter of fact, these people and them are so intelligent you will never imagine. And that have been proven to me on a number of occasions. So they are, in fact, they are not dumb, but because now from way back we did not have the sense of the kind of education as to how we deal with these intelligent people, very intelligent. That is how I term them. I don't. I no longer go. In the past, I might have go. I was dumb, but no longer. After I say I have a different approach, Claire, and you always hear me say, ever since we start doing this program together, I have a different approach as to how I deal and treat with people who have whatever sort of mental state they are going through, whether it's depression, whether it's I deal. I've come to realize that my way of how I used to think and treat them has changed totally. Totally.
There is so much to learn. There is so much to learn. There was this story where this dog observed that people would pay money to get food, and the dog started to go and get leaves and bring to the shop to get food. you know so they're not dumb. They're observant and they're very smart. And people who are not able to speak, they have their own language. They could do sign language, they could express themselves, they can do different things. So it's just education and understanding that because you can speak, that doesn't mean, because at the end of the day, she might not be able to speak. What is it that I have? Because nobody is perfect. None of us is perfect. Somebody might have diabetes, somebody might have hypertension, somebody have an autoimmune disease like lupus or something, ALS or something. And Don't even talk about the C word, cancer. You understand? So none of us is perfect. And because of that, we have to just learn to love and respect each other. Yes, ma'am?
There's a comment for you to read, a question for you, sir, and I read it.
I can't see it.
Okay.
Can you
The,
read it?
the question is, question for Sarona. Do you think 40 years ago, the way people look at mental health is different than today?
Yes.
That was a
Yes.
question from your brother.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I think it's easier for me. Well, I didn't live back then, but it's easier for me to navigate this world now than if I had been diagnosed 40 years ago. I might have just been thrown in in one of the institutions and be forgotten. Or as because the medication, the whole thing about medication, I might have been walking the street, talking to myself, doing all kind of thing. I'm being real. I'm not a person that can sugarcoat things. Seriously. Because growing up, I saw different people in the village that where I grew up who had mental health conditions, how they were treated and how they behaved. All right. As a matter of fact, when I was 2021, a man with a mental health condition threatened to kill me. He came on my work to kill me. He, I couldn't sleep at night. He was outside my house bawling out my name, Sarala Mitchell, I will kill you. Just like that. Then he went on my work. So, and he was always in police custody. He was always in in the mental institution. So, and then people beat him. So, and then as a woman, you're open to being raped. So, yes, I think that I am, I'm saying it, I'm fortunate to live in this time with a diagnosis like this, whereby I can navigate the world better. Granted, there are people, and I thank God that um, the diagnosis is being treated and I'm doing all sorts of things along to help myself that I'm not no use to myself, to put it that way. I can actually take care of myself and I'm being given an opportunity to take care of myself. But many people 40 years ago in Grenada may not have had the opportunities that I do have right now and the options that I have. And I give thanks for that. So, education, a lot of work has been done. Plus, we are not living under a rock anymore. We have the social media, we have access to different media and so on. So, information is out there. Yes, we still have the stigma, but 40 years ago to 40 years now, I give thanks. I
True.
give
True.
thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
But let me ask you from um, the point of view of our authorities, do you think that we have done enough from over the decades so as to deal with our mental patients? Because I still see it's the police that go to address the situation when a mental person may tend to act up, and what the police might know is some form of force. What are your thoughts?
I know that they are in Grenada. They are in the process of looking at the the mental health um, act and changing, for example, the language. The one that was done since in 18 whatever, 1890 whatever, it has words like lunatic and so on. So language affects how you're treated and all of that. I also know that, but I am not privy to what is happening. because I was not involved in what is being done by government or so. But what I do know is that through PAHO, they have done trainings and so on, and a lot of encouragement, a lot of work is being done to make it more community based. So when I say that, instead of the community being afraid of people with mental health conditions, you would have a nurse, you would have someone trained and so on to go and check on people to make sure that they're taking the medication. So you always have prevention. You have, instead of having the person have an outburst and needing to call the police and so on. So that's the route they're going. I have to tread safely because I am not privy to what is happening and I don't want to speak out of turn. So I do know that work is being done to change the act. I know work is being done to do more community service work. That much I can speak about.
Okay.
Education wise, I think work has been done through Friends of the Mentally Ill, an organization I'm a part of. That was a lot of work was done in the past. Um, I know that because of the open world we're in right now, there is information out there that people are aware of because instead of just going and shooting somebody or beating them up and stuff like that, they're trying to use different methods
Jester, Jester. Um, we can the phones people cannot get through with the phone. Can you check it? Okay. So somebody wrote a comment and say one way the stigma of mental health can harm is that it lessens self-esteem. As someone who has experienced this, what can be done to help persons improve their self-esteem? So this is a question that was asked by one of the people on live. And let me say good morning to my dear friend Jenny Mason. So I think what we can do, as he says, how to cope with this stigma follow that we are having, is that people have to try to educate themselves and others as to how to go ahead and try to fulfill what it is that they're going through so that they would not be under the weight of what people think about you. So we have to educate ourselves. And it's like we talk about educate, educate, educate. And with seek treatment and support also, like accessing therapy, counseling, or medication that can help manage symptoms and improve the quality of life. And it is not something easy that we can do. I'm told that we have a power failure right now. So if you can see me, it is strange. We have a power failure back there. Mm. No, it's not. And people, let me say this to everybody that is listening. I'm not sure if you're hearing, but we have a power failure right now. And I don't think that you can hear, they can hear you, but you can see me. So one moment, please let me just check something. I'll be right back. Hey, you have a power failure? But I could see myself. I'm hearing people that can see me, I think. Because I'm here. I don't know what's going on. You go walking ahead? Okay, okay, I'll let you know. All right, bye. Everyone, I'm sorry. The power, Grand Lake has taken power, so there's no power left. So you cannot hear Jester or Serena anymore. But if you're listening and you can hear me, tell me if you're hearing me because I don't think Jester and Serena can hear us anymore. We are all, I think the backup generator is working on my end, but it's not working on theirs. So I am so sorry. Hopefully next week we'll be back with another program. I'm sorry to end this so prematurely, but it's no fault of ours. It's just that power has gone. I sent a message to anyone that is hearing me right now. Lorna, if you're hearing me, let me. I don't think you are, but if you are, let me know because I think everyone else is gone. Let's see. Lorna is typing for me. Hmm. I guess I'm the only one that's here. Oh, so they're hearing me. So I am going to, I'd like to say thank you to Sarana Mitchell for checking in with us this morning. It was a very, very interesting topic as how we can combat the negative stigma of mental health and Jen is hearing and Simi. Thank you so much. We lost our guest because the power from the studio in Grenada is gone. But fortunately for me, I am still here. So it's saying that how we can deal with to reduce the stigma in the workplace and strategies to cope with it. I'm going to continue. What we can do, I know it's kind of, you all just tell me that you're hearing me, so I'm going to continue. Lorna said, and Chance the game is hearing. So here are some strategies to cope with stigma. It says accessing therapy, counseling, or medication can help manage symptoms and improve quality of life. Treatment also reinforces that mental health conditions and medical issues, not personal issues. So educate yourself and others. Learning about your condition and sharing accurate information can counter myths and reduce fear of misunderstanding. Use empowering language. Say, I have a bipolar condition instead of saying, I am bipolar to separate your identity from the condition. So a lot of us say, okay, I am bipolar. Yes, we may be bipolar, but it's saying here that we shouldn't say that we are bipolar. Instead, we should say, I am, or I'm having a, or I have a bipolar condition. It is different than saying I am bipolar. Connect with support networks. Joining support groups can provide community, reduce isolation, and build self esteem. I think, Lorna, this is coming in part with what you do, the comment that you made. How can you do that? So by joining support groups, involving yourself in the community, and that will help you to build self-esteem because you are not alone dealing with it. There are others around you that you're getting support from. Engage in open conversations. Sharing your experiences with trusted family, friends, or community members can foster understanding and empathy. And as Sarana said before, and as we talked about before, each and every one of us on a daily basis go through some sort of mental disorder. It may not be something that everybody is saying. I can be sitting here right now as I am, sounding the way I am, smiling, and I'm going through something that no one knows about. And each and every one of us I know go through this on a daily basis. It's how we deal with it that it makes the difference. You have a friend that you can call and talk to, that makes a difference. Like I have Lorna, I have Jenny, I have Denise, I have different people that I can talk to when things affect me. So it may not affect me as terrible as those of us who do not have anybody to talk to or any support group that we can go to and get some sort of upliftment that is going to make us better. Focus on strength and positivity. It says recognize the mental health conditions that are only one aspect of a person's life. Emphasizing abilities and achievements can counteract negative stereotypes. So control or think about or figure out ways that you can recognize how you feel and how you can deal with it. It says challenge your own biases. Reflect on personal attitudes and judgments, and actively work to replace misconceptions and understanding and compassion. So, if you know somebody that is going through this, and you know that you're going through it and what is helping you, reach out, lend a hand to that person, and say to them, you know, I've been going through this, and this is what have been helping me. Maybe you can try this and see what works for you. So, don't just leave us floating in air. It says empathy and acceptance. Treat individuals with mental health conditions with understanding, avoiding judgment or exclusion. And this is what we've been seeing for a long time. You exclude those you know that are going through mental health issues. We do not accept them in society as being normal, and you do not show any empathy. Try to reframe that in your mind. Try to reconstruct how you think about people that go through this and try to accept them. Make them feel as part of the society, not taking them out of it to make them even worse than they are. In conclusion, mental health stigma is a pervasive barrier that affects individuals and communities, but it can be mitigated through education, supportive relationships, advocacy, and self awareness. By seeking help, speaking openly, and promoting understanding, both individuals and society can reduce stigma and foster environments where mental health is treated with the same respect as physical health. And so I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you that contributed to our program this morning. Those of you who are on live, I'm sorry that we cannot end it with our theme song this morning to Jester and Sarana to say goodbye. But I'd like to say thank you so much. We really do appreciate your presence with us every Tuesday from 10 to 12. We hope to see you next week again with another interesting topic. And if you have any topic that you want us to discuss, please send it to us or send it to me on cj5@gmail.com, or you can call my WhatsApp number. Thank you all so very much. It is 2 minutes after the meeting hour. I'd like to say thank you, goodbye, and see you all next week.